Hey, good to see you. Glad you came back. You're with Cold Alias, and I'm Max, of course. You've seen me before. Right at the moment, we're in our third heat wave, and I think we've only got one cool day in between, then we're going to head back up into the 40s or over 40. So, as I've said many times on my channel here, if you're going to airbrush, there's no point down tools if it's going to be a hot day, because you'll find you can mix your paints, you can thin them out to try and get them passed through the airbrush, but on a hot day like this, it's pointless. Your paint dries too quick, then when you're airbrushing it causes all sorts of issues, mistakes. So as much as I don't like to, I've had a few breaks in between videos, just because I can't paint really. I do have a few places I want to visit soon. I know there's a car museum not far from here. They have drag cars, they have classic cars, you know, muscle cars, all sorts. So that's one place I'm going to go. I also want to go to the Maritime Museum down in Fremantle. So those I'm going to do in the new year, most definitely. Yeah, we've still got more hot weather coming. It sucks and I'm over it, but it is what it is. So today's mission, well, it won't be just today, it'll probably be stretched over a week the way the heat's going, but I'll call it today's mission. Today's mission, should I choose to accept it, and yes, I do, is, as you can see behind me, I've got another car bonnet, or if you are non-Australian, it's a hood. I've got to do a nice big piece of artwork in the middle. So what you've got to do with any painted surface like this, whether it's car, motorbike, doesn't matter, that's the clear coat. So the shiny surface paint won't stick to that. So the first thing you have to do is you have to rub that back. So I'll start off with wet and dry sandpaper. If it's a solid colour, I'll go usually for a 600 grade wet and dry. With something like this, that's a metallic. I don't want any scratches to show on the paint. You have to be pretty careful. The higher the number, the finer the grade sandpaper. You don't want to go low grade and then rub the whole thing back, and once you finish the job, you clear it and find it's got all these little scratches all through the paint. So what I'm going to do, you'll see I've got the water container there, the little blue container, a little bit of dish liquid, a little bit of soapy water, and you get your wet and dry, and I hand sand. So I'm not being too aggressive. I don't use a I can't find I don't use the old orbital sander on a job like this, because I don't want to go through the clear coat. What I'm doing here is that the artwork's going to be mainly in that that square. I'm trying to make the shape of a square, the central part of the bonnet / hood. So I don't want to get the outside area infected with overspray or anything. So I'll rub the whole thing back first, and then I'll mask up all the bits that I don't want to get paint or overspray on. Sounds like one of my chickens laying an egg. The other thing to watch for if you are painting a bike or a car or any sort of an automotive surface is look for faults in the paint. Stone chips, scratches, especially stone chips. Anything that goes through the paint means you've got to repair it. You can't paint over a stone chip and clear it, because afterwards, when the light gets on it and reflects, you're going to see the indentation of the stone chip will still be there. Trying to get my words right here. This one's pretty good. I noticed there's one little stone chip kind of on the front up there, a really little one, so I mean I can just spot fix that. So the paint's pretty good overall. But I have been caught out before where I've said, yeah, I'll paint this. I quoted a certain amount without looking at it. Big mistake. I had a motorbike once and I pretty much had to repaint the whole thing. The paint was, for use of a better word, the paint was fucked. It was, you know, pitted and stone chipped and scratched. It had, you know, piles of old paint on it. I had to sand a lot back, start from scratch. You don't want to do that. So always inspect your job. You know, get your glasses on, have a close look. If there's anything like a stone chip or a scratch, you're up for a repair. So be careful. I sent off those 2 portraits, the one to Maggie, that was my last video, Maggie's Clan Part 2, and to Kelly. I sent those 2 paintings off, they're on their way. I know Max Egan's portrait is, it's on the other end. Hopefully he'll get it soon. I do have another portrait soon. I'm going to do the bonnet first, but I picked up another couple of canvases the other day, blanks. So once again, wait till the hot weather's gone and I'll get into that. So anyway, it's getting hotter and hotter and I'm starting to sweat here, so I'll get into this and I'll rub this back and mask it off and get it ready. I've got to invert it, got to tip it up the other way. That's the front there and that's the back by the windshield. So once I've sanded the whole thing back and masked it, I'll turn it up the other way and should be ready for the artwork to start. So stay tuned. Oh, and if you do like my channel, you enjoy my artwork, you've got suggestions, give me a thumbs up if you appreciate my videos, if you enjoyed them. And I always welcome anyone subscribing because it helps my channel to grow. And on that note, let's get sanding. So a few pointers. When you're rubbing a surface like a bonnet or whatever, an automotive surface back, what I do, I stop occasionally. I'll get a clean cloth and I'll just go over it to clean off all the water and crap from the surface, just so I can see if I've removed enough of the clear coat. As you can see, there's a shine. You can see the reflection of the light. So we don't want that. That's still too shiny. So I've got to keep going. Now, the goal here isn't to touch the paint at all. The paint is safe under the clear coat, so you don't want to rub through this clear coated surface. So the idea here is just to remove the shine so that the paint that I'm going to use has got a good surface to stick to, because it won't stick to a shiny surface. And the other point I want to make too is when you get, you know, ridges like this, and you get like the edge of the bonnet slash hood, or especially right on the side of the bonnet like that, these little sharp edges, you don't want to apply too much pressure, because you'll find when you're sanding these areas here are the most vulnerable to be rubbed right through, and you don't want to rub right through the clear coat down to the metal, because otherwise it's going to come out of your pocket. It'll be a repair. I've noticed here and there as I've been rubbing, there's a few little spots like that which I didn't notice before, and it's no big deal, but someone's done a spot up on a few little stone chips previously. This area here I'm not going to touch. I'm just going to mask that up. The area I'm doing with the artwork will go from here, and it'll be this, if I get back far enough, the big square section, as I was saying before. So the thing is, you can't just sand the area you're doing either. this is one whole surface, this bonnet, this hood. So in the end, once the paint's done, I have to clear coat the whole thing. Like the whole thing. I can't just, oh, well, I've done the art here, I'll just clear coat this section. No, no, no. You have to treat each section of a car, whether it be a front guard, a roof, a hood, or a whatever part, is as one whole piece. So it means if you're going to do your artwork just on a section, doesn't matter. You have to sand that one whole section to get the shine off it, because once you've finished, you have to clear coat that whole section. So this whole hood has to be re-clear coated. And yeah, there's no, oh, well, I'll just mask off and do that. No, you might as well do the whole thing. What I'll do with these little imperfections, I'm not being paid to do a repair to fix this paint. So there's another little chip there. It's like a little pinhole. Some of these things you don't see until you take the shine away. But what I can do is I can mix a red, like someone's done before. Mix a red that's close to this. In fact, I do have a colour that's very close to this, and it's metallic. I'll just basically spot each one of these, and once it's clear coated, you won't even notice. So I'll continue rubbing this back until I've got the whole thing done, and then I'll mask it up and I'll flip it over and she'll be ready for the artwork. So have your glasses on if your eyesight's not as good, like mine sometimes, but really pay attention to the surface that you are prepping up and going to paint. It's better you have a look at the surface, as I said a moment ago. While you're giving a quote, go and look at the car or the motorbike that you're going to paint and have a good look up close. Pick over any imperfections, rub your hand over it, look for things like stone chips and pinholes or scratches, because then before you quote the person, you want to know, do I have to do a repair on it? Do I have to sand it back and prime it and, you know, get a colour match and fix it, blah, blah, blah. Or if it's in good nick like this one, this is pretty good overall. You know, I don't have to do repairs. The owner, he just wants me to do a nice bit of artwork, and the paint's in pretty good nick overall, so it makes it simple for me. Anyway, so there's a few pointers for you. If you got any questions, leave them in the description box down below. No, it's only going to get hotter today. I've got the bonnet here all sanded back. As you can see, the sides are all masked up, ready for paint, so let's get into it. wasn't going to do it, but I was hoping to get the whole job done all in one go. But I'm going to make this part 1 of 2 parts, only because being a big surface, it's quite a big job. I've had enough of the day. I really need to go inside and have a cuppa and put my feet up. But that's it so far. There's still quite a bit to do, but I'm happy with the progress so far. The owner of the car, he hasn't seen it yet, so I'm going to send him a picture tonight, and I thought it would be wiser to get his opinion of how it is so far, my progress. Because you might just say, okay, change this a little bit. He might be happy with it as it is, I don't know, but it's always good to check. So anyway, I'll give you more of a close-up. So this is, you can see it's not finished. This is where I'm up to. I haven't finished his hand. He's got his hand to go there. I've got to refine the top of the Tornado, the Dust Devil. Maybe a little bit in the background. But as you can see, I've still got the original bonnet colour or hood colour red showing through. So I haven't really done his front legs yet. So part 2 I'll finish the legs. His license plate is called Meat Ant. So I'm thinking of just putting a few ants around here and having a few sort of flying up into the air over there. And of course there's, you know, buttons and there's shading and finish all the creases in his shirt. The hair on the face of the bull, there's a lot to do there. It's quite a big job in itself. So I'm over halfway. So pretty happy with that, but I'll do a part 2 and I'll get stuck into it tomorrow. But so far, good. So there you have it. So what do you think so far? Do you think I should add something? Do you think it looks good as it is? Drop your comments down below. And I'm going to wind this one up. So I really appreciate it if you guys can give me a thumbs up. All the likes really help my channel. And more than that, if you guys can hit the subscribe button and help my channel to grow. I'm still fairly small in the subscriptions. So it'll help my channel to grow, more content, more art, etc., etc. You know how it goes. But on that note, I'm going to knock off here. So until the next video, ciao.